This is one of my projects I needed to complete this year. This little area has had hostas in it for probably over 10 years, and I'm kind of tired of it, so I'm going to refresh the area. So I have some things in here that receded, some of them I'm going to keep, but for the main part I'm taking all the hosta out of here. I have an Astilbe I'm going to reestablish. I got an older coral bell. This is a blackberry lily that I like as well, but I'll probably pull it out and put it in a sunny location. This is a Meadow Rue, I think is what it's called. This one I'm leaving. It takes forever for it to get this big. And then I put the clematis in last year. So I'm going to work on repurposing this. It's almost pure sand underneath here, so I'll dig the soil out that I can. I'll backfill with some composted manure and retop it up with some fresh mulch. Should be a fun project. Alright, I was able to dig out all of the old stuff from this front sidewalk porch area, and I just planted the new plants. And now what I need to do is top it all off with mulch. I planted in 100% composted manure. So I just finished updating my landscape on my front porch. Let's take a little tour and see how it looks. First thing that I added was this variegated Jacob's ladder. This one is called Touch of Class. This Jacob's ladder is a nice contrast plant as compared to the other plants in this collection that I've put in this area. So right next to the Jacob's ladder is this forever purple coral bell, and it's just beautiful. Color's amazing. And next to that is a coral bell called Paprika. And this other one is an older one called Midnight Rose that I rescued from my landscape from a different area of the yard. And then I finished it off on the front row here with another Jacob's ladder. This is a Visioned Astilbe from Monrovia, and it was such a nice colored purple. I thought this combination just kind of really worked. I was able to find a Millenium Allium, which is a midsummer bloomer, so that'll be kind of fun in this area, and it's a different contrast in foliage. This is a clematis I put in the ground last year. This is called Samaritan Jo, or Jo Samaritan, something like that. I'll see if I have some video that I can put in here of when it was blooming. It already bloomed and finished. I got some deadheading to do. I think it'll do another bloom. We'll find out maybe later in the year. This plant in the corner is Meadow Rue. It gets a nice pink flower on it. It hasn't bloomed just yet. You can see it's in bud form right now. It's still trying to come. And it takes forever for it to get this big. This thing has been in the ground. I kept this one from the original landscape. And it's been in the ground for a long time. The other thing I have are some window boxes, which should probably be refreshed. I have some perennials in there actually. I have some creeping phlox, which is starting to kind of die back. I should pull it out. And then I've got some scabiosa, or pincushion flower. I've got some tradescantia in there. And I believe the red spike is a form of cordyline, but the combination looks good. And then I have the silvery foliage drop down, which is just kind of a nice combination. I may do some refresh on this. It's looking a little dated. As I pan through the foliage again, you can see the different contrasts in the foliage itself, in variegation and in leaf size and in color. All of these things together make this little collection of plants quite appealing, and I think it just looks really good. So taking a little tour of the rest of my front porch area. At the entrance I have two blue point junipers flanking the entrance, and I did a video on potting these up in containers if you want to check that out. And then most of my landscapes I usually put a bird bath. Around the bird bath I have 3 containers that I potted up earlier in the year. They have foxtail ferns, kind of as a tall spiky things in the back. And the front side is actually creeping phlox, which is on a second flush of blooms on some of them, which is kind of cool. So to the left of my front entrance are my Annabelle hydrangeas, which are massive. They've been in the ground for at least 10 years, and they look wonderful. They also propagate really easily, and I'll probably do some more propagations in a couple of weeks here. I have some different containers that I tried this year. My goal was to stay with purples and lime greens and whites in my front entryway. So I think it looks pretty good. On my front door I have a faux vine surrounding a birdhouse. In this corner, I've continued the theme of the purple, white, silver, and or chartreuse colors. And then I have a couple of chairs here. My husband and I will sometimes sit out here when it's really hot and we'll have a cocktail. And on the side table, I have a few annuals that I have potted up here, and they probably need to be deadheaded so they can re-establish a second bloom cycle. There is a snapdragon and there's bright orange, so that would be fun when it's blooming. I also think these seat cushions that I got, I think from Walmart, add a nice pop of color in this area. Here I have a trellis that I have adorned with different garden ornaments, and I usually put some birdhouses in there. I don't know what happened to them. I'll have to go look in the garden shed, see if I can find them, and I would fill in those blank spaces with additional birdhouses. Sometimes we even have birds that nest in them, which makes it really fun. So if you've enjoyed this little tour, give us a thumbs up so YouTube knows to share this content with others. Also consider subscribing so you don't miss any of our other wonderful videos. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great day.